balls.
Just starting with the game then, what was your take on the 90 minutes?
We were unlucky not to go in with the win. I thought we created enough chances. They had a lot of set plays. The game was pretty direct from them. We dealt with them fairly well. First 10-15 minutes, I think there was about 5 or 6 set plays into the box. They get a wee bit unlucky. We get Jerome comes up with a big save. Bar that, I don't think they causes any problems outside the set plays. And even then, they don't score from a set play, so we deal with them fairly well. Ironically, we score for a set play. But I felt we built the game quite well at times. They came and pressed, but I felt we built the game quite well. I thought we had the better opportunities in the game, and we probably should have had another goal if we'd looked after the ball a wee bit better. Finishing execution, I think Robbie Muirhead, Chris had a couple actually, Robbie had a couple. And I think we got a couple of transitions in the game, and we just take care in that final third, a wee bit more care with the last pass. I think we would have been, probably had got that second goal. So I thought we tried to build the game. We created some half decent chances. Just final third, a wee bit disappointing in our execution in the final third.
Are you disappointed you're not going up to Dingwall with a lead?
I'm obviously disappointed, but I think it's a pain from Danny. I think it's soft, but I think with VAR it's a pain. So you want to go and grab the opposition player's shirt in your box, you're going to ask for trouble. But again, I'll caveat that with, I thought it was a foul on Smithy as well, so I thought it was a penalty on Smithy. Disappointed, yeah, of course we are so late in the game, but the game's very much a muchness, and if I'm really honest, I feel we would have to score up there anyway, and again, that's not really changed. I think we'd need to go up there, we'd need to score. I don't think you're getting a 1-0 aggregate win over 2 legs, and being honest with you, so nothing's really changed from that perspective. We need to go up there and we need to score.
In terms of the game though, it's probably been overshadowed by what's happened at the end of it.
Yeah, I'm not really too versed on it, but if it was for what I've heard, it's disgusting, it's vile, it's disappointing. It's not a reflection on our full fan base, it's an individual, so really disappointing.
In terms of that, I mean, it's would you have you spoken to Carol and Don Kerry about it?
Yeah.
I
I just apologise on behalf of the club. There's not a lot more I can do. I'm sure the powers that be at the club will make sure it's dealt with promptly and efficiently. But I've been feeling football's been getting out of hand the last 2 or 3 years. This old analogy, I'll pay my money and I can shout what I want. This all comes from, remember, maybe not just this incident, but I do feel there's an entitlement with certain parts of fan bases that they feel they can come shout abuse, and then this is just probably a build up of that kind of attitude. I can come to a football game, I pay my money and I can do what I want. Don't believe in it, don't agree with it. I think it's the only sport in the world that you can come and abuse your own players, fellow players. So it doesn't represent our fan base. I've been here 11 years and really that's the first time that I've known that something like this has happened. So really disappointing.
Dave, you think it's a problem that's getting worse in general? You know, you saw last week Jack McKenzie get hit on it, Engels get hit with constant other objects as well.
I was saying it in the delegation year we went through. My wife couldn't even go and sit in the stand. My daughter couldn't even go and sit in the stand. Yeah, we're going through a tough time. But does that give people the right to come and abuse you at games of football? And then I think that's the start of it, if that makes sense. If you come away and you're abusing people at games of football, shouting abuse at them, I think then it lays the foundations for other things to happen. Bottles to be thrown, fans kind of confronting players. There was an incident, was that a couple of years ago at Tannadice? Remember a fan jumped in a player, it was a couple of years ago, can't remember what it was. No, I can't remember. But I just feel it's kind of grown, because I don't think we're dealing with the problem in the stands. Is it really okay to pay your money and come and shout abuse at people? I genuinely don't get it. The clue's in the terminology, support. So, and it's not a representation at all, because let's be honest, 70, 80, 90% of fans generally behave themselves, so there's a minority element that kind of push the boundaries, but it all comes from us accepting fans coming in and abusing people. And whether that abuse is verbal, physical, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's physical, verbal, emotional abuse, so it shouldn't be allowed anywhere near football in any form.
So it's maybe a zero tolerance approach going forward, hopefully.
I think so. I've said it for ages. We've had debates at the club. I said this, like use our fan, but a certain element. Maybe it's times clubs started ejecting people at the start. So it's not alright just to sit and abuse people. It's not okay. Society's not okay with that. And you look at the incident last week with Jack. That's shocking. He could have. I've not been funny. There's people had head knocks and passed away. There's like I could have took an eye. There's a lot of different things could have happened for there. And I genuinely believe, I don't know the fan that done it. I don't know the fan that done it tonight. And I genuinely believe they probably don't act like that away from a football ground. So we've got to start setting the tone. We've got to start setting the line in the sand with what's acceptable and what's not. And that comes from, for me, that comes from straight away for abuse. Because that's where it all starts from. You get away with abusing somebody and then you take it a degree further, it goes a step further. And that's where we are. So disappointing to be sitting here talking about that, but it doesn't represent our fan base. But it's happened, but I'm sure the club will deal with it. And a huge apology for everybody at the club. I'm sure I speak for everybody at the club, to Don and his staff, because it's unacceptable and it shouldn't be happening.
Looking at Monday, Davey, what do you need to do better to get over the line?
Cut the cable for VAR. Maybe a start. I tried to waterlog it this morning. I had the sprinklers on, tried to burst it. Never worked. It's waterproof. So I'll be honest, guys. I've really enjoyed the championship. No having VAR. Really enjoyed the championship. No having VAR. And when I had VAR in the Premier League, I came and went with it. It was on the fence slightly. Well, it's here. Just deal with it. It's the same for everybody. But I've had the luxury. I've had the luxury not having VAR now for a full season, and I'm telling you now, it does not enhance our game. It does not enhance our game, and all it does is takes money out of the club's pockets. And I feel tonight it was an element of that game. We score, fans are celebrating, bench is celebrating. I'm just sitting there going, well, we might not even get the goal. So it kind of takes that element away. Then you look at Smithy's incident, it was kind of gone in 10 seconds. Then you look at Ross County's incident, it's going on. There's a bigger look there. I think there's actually a foul on Stevie May in the attacking phase, the build-up phase. I think there's a foul on Stevie before the penalty. So, I used to be kind of a bit an advocate for VAR. I was quite happy to have VAR in the game, but now working with VAR and not working with VAR, if you said to me, would you want to do 1,000,000%, I would be saying I would rather VAR was out of the game.
The stakes are so high on Monday, you'll be hoping there's no controversial decisions.
I just don't want to be sitting here talking about VAR. Like, honestly, I'm sitting on my couch watching Sports Scene. I looked at the incident with Tony Dock last week with Ross County, and I felt so sorry for him, because it should never be a penalty, and it's ruining the game. It's ruining the game, in my opinion, and we're paying for it to ruin the game, which is, I find, absurd. I can't get my head around that one.
Top man.
Cheers.
Thanks very much.